Hey nerds, Bevan here. Welcome back to my channel. If you watched my last video and you got all the way to the end, I teased this one by saying, I'm selling my comic book collection. Well, I am and I'm not. I mean, I am, kind of. Not all of it though. I'm going to be selling about 90% of my comics, but I will keep buying comics. So let me explain. Late last year, I wanted to put together the entire Matt Fraction Uncanny X-Men run, which was Uncanny X-Men 500 to 534. Because when I got into reading comic books, that's the series that like really hooked me first. So I was like buying an issue here and there, and it was fun. I was kind of just like very slowly piecing it together. And then I was like, oh, I also want to do this with Spider-Gwen and put the whole Spider-Gwen set together because it was only like 50 issues at the time. And then one thing led to another, and I got some good deals on some bundles for some older Uncanny X-Men. And I was like, well, damn. Now I want to put together an entire run of Uncanny X-Men from 1 to 544. And you've seen a lot of that in my recent comic haul videos. For the last, 3 or 4 months, I've put together a nice collection. I probably have close to 100 Uncanny X-Men comics now. And they're all just sitting in short boxes over here. Down over here to the side under this Flash and Wonder Woman print set I got, I have my 3 long boxes. I have one for X-Men, one which is Spider-Gwen and Batman, and one which is everything else. And these comics just sit in these boxes not doing anything. And I was like, why do I even have these then if I have no intention of reading them? Because I don't really get a lot of enjoyment out of reading the older comic books, especially from before the 90s. And because the style is just different than what I'm used to, I much prefer the storytelling and the art in the newer, more modern comic books. So I'm just buying all these old comics to just sit in a box just so I can have them. And that doesn't make any sense to me. They're not on display like my toys are. They're not being read like my graphic novel and trade paperback collection over here. I'm literally just spending money on comics just so I can check them off in my notebook. Literally, this is the notebook. Those are all the ticks of books that I've gotten, and it doesn't make any sense to me anymore. So I've decided anything that I'm not going to be putting on display, I will be selling. So I'm narrowing down my collection to variant covers that I love the art on. Well, I guess any cover I love the art on. It doesn't have to be a variant, but like that's kind of where the best art comes from, is the variants. I'm going to be collecting like my favorite artist on the cover, so like a lot of Jim Lee stuff will probably still keep, and like first appearances. And then also like keys. Like I have a Juggernaut second appearance over here. Like this is X-Men number 13 from 1964-ish, I think. While it's not a first appearance, it's still really cool. And like this I'll keep because when Disney does Juggernaut, probably this book will spike and I can, make a nice little bit of coin off of it. Basically, I want books I can put on display. So I have my Gwen books up there. I will be getting a lot of books graded, especially like my favorite covers. This one, I'm just using it as an example again because it's right here in front of me. I might get this graded actually, just to like have it preserved so it's not going to deteriorate anymore. And what I would like to do is with this wall, I used to love these prints. I used to buy them all the time at fan expos and other conventions. And while they're awesome, I feel like a comic book cover would look more authentic. And having a graded comic book cover on the wall, there's something about it that just feels really official. And let me grab one for you. So this is my favorite comic cover in my collection, so I got it graded. And it looks wonderful on display, and I want to get a statue to go along with it and just like build up my favorite characters, show homage to my favorite artists, and just like really focus on displaying my comics instead of just having them and collecting them and them just literally sitting in a box on the floor. So as I was saying, the comics just seem so official in this, like they are preserved. There's like the argument of just, putting them in a frame, but like this, having the label and the grade just feels really official to me. There's just something I much prefer about having it in a slab versus in a frame. And that's just my preference. I'm not saying one is better, I just prefer one to the other. So these prints here, not that one, that one's staying, but like these prints down here, and I got some over here, will probably go, and I'll set up some shelving or a cabinet where I can display graded comics and have my favorite variants, my favorite characters, my favorite artists. So what this means is, for the guys who watch my videos who live in Regina, in the Regina Comics and Collectibles Facebook group, you are going to see a whole bunch of comics going up for sale. And I'm hoping that I can make like, you know, $300, $400, $500 off of comic sales here in the next few weeks, so I can start buying more cool shit. Because now that I've got this one, and I got that one in an auction earlier this week, I'm like obsessed with having graded comic books. I have a whole bunch in these boxes that I know I'm going to be keeping so I can get graded, and it's just going to be, it's going to be so awesome. And I think it's going to be freeing because I'm not going to have like a checklist anymore and like have to go after these books and just like complete a collection just to have it. Like, as cool as it would be to own X-Men 1 through 544 and have the entire run, they're just going to sit in a box. No matter how many I have out of that run, they're just going to sit in a box. If I had to guess, I probably have like 200 to 250 comics would be my guess without counting. And I'm probably going to be selling, if I have 200, I'm probably going to be selling 175. So there you have it, guys. That is why I am selling my comic book collection, or at least a huge chunk of my comic book collection. And I will definitely keep you guys in the loop for when I start, you know, getting more things graded. I think I'm going to actually do a video about getting a CGC account so I can send stuff off myself. I got to do a little bit of math to see if it's worth it or not, but I think it probably will be, and probably by the end of summer send off like a big stack of comics to get graded from CGC. So that's it for today, guys. Hit me up in the comments below and let me know what you think of my plan. Also, let me know what kind of collector you are, because those two questions kind of go hand in hand. Do you want the full run just so you can have it, or do you want a small collection so you can display it and, you know, utilize the entire thing? If you like this video, hit that like button, and if you really like this video, hit that subscribe button so you can get all your comic book and action figure content from yours truly. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Bevan Boychuk, and until next time, folks, I'll see you next time, folks.